Heyo, Heinz. What are you up to today, man?
I always get that question to start an episode of the What We Meant to Say podcast with Jake and Heinz. And I'm thinking today might be the day that I have, or I should say the episode, that I finally have a creative response. That response is, I am tired.
Oh,
I'm tired.
you're tired?
Yeah.
That's not very
Yeah.
creative. That's a very
No, it's not.
average day-to-day response.
But normally I shoot back something at you. But today I was just really tired. But I got enough caffeine in me that I'm going. I'm feeling the perk, so to speak. And caffeine is a hell of a drug. That's all I can say.
Caffeine's a hell of a drug. Well, I mean, what's the weather like in South Dakota? Is it really cold and snowy?
Nope. It is sunny and like 30 something degrees, melting away all that white stuff they call snow. So no,
Well, maybe
it's all good.
maybe you should go out for a walk. You know, get some
True.
rays, get some energy flowing. Like, did you ever follow up on that resolution and get a dog, like you said?
I have one on order. It's just waiting, for the whole process to play out, if you know what I mean.
Okay. All right. Okay. Very good.
I
Very good.
I shall have one by the end of the summer. Yeah.
Oh, really?
A female dog. Yep.
Oh, that is so exciting. I'm so excited for it. What kind of dog? What breed?
It is a Springer Spaniel. So
Oh,
yeah, floppy ears, jumps around a bunch. Yeah, it should be good. It'll be spotted. So
do you have any names picked out yet?
I do. The number one I want to go to is Itasca, as in Lake Itasca State Park, as in the headwaters of the Mississippi River.
Mississippi River. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The nickname would be Task at that point. Not
Okay.
to say
Yeah.
Itasca or Itasca. I've heard many times over and over. The other one is Marley, because all the other dogs I've ever had, their name always ended with a Y or an IE.
Okay.
So to continue that tradition.
I like that. What do you
Mhm.
say, since we're on the subject of pets, what do you say we talk about dogs and other kinds of pets today? Kind of silly, kind of off the beaten track, but really fun because I love animals.
Well, I'm sure we can go many ways with this. So yeah, let's do it.
All right, well, let's hit that music, and here we go. All right, we are back from the music, and today we are talking about one of everyone's favorite subjects, and that is pets. Heinz, what do you want to kick it off with today, bud?
I guess the obvious question is, Jake, what is your favorite breed of pet, type of pet, whatever that would be? However, it would be dogs, cats,
Yeah,
hamsters, mice.
well, I have to say it's very standard answer. My favorite is pet. My favorite pet is a dog, of course. My favorite pet
I was
is
gonna say
pet.
your favorite pet is a pet. Yeah.
No. I'm not too good with the words. No, my favorite kind of pet is a dog. I currently have one dog. She's an 8-pound Shih Tzu named Gertrude, or Gert. She is 14, almost 14 years old, and we have had her since she was about 4 months old. So we've had her for a very long time. When we got her, she was 1.5 pounds, and she fit in the palm of my hand. And she is a lot like me. She's very nice and sweet, also very cranky and crabby at times. But she's a little standoffish, doesn't really like to talk to people out in public.
Yeah.
But my life essentially revolves around that little dog, and I love her with all my heart. I also have 2 cats. We have little Taco. We call her full name is Taco Cat, which is a palindrome. You can spell it backwards,
Okay, yeah,
and it spells
backwards,
Taco Cat. So Taco Cat is Taco Cat backwards. And we also have another little fat cat named Panda Panda. and Panda likes to poop in the bathtub. So
Oh,
yeah.
I've never had a cat before. They're not supposed to do that, right?
No, but we just kind of roll with it. Like, she doesn't like to use a litter box, so she poops in the bathtub, and we have to use like little puppy training pads on the floor in the bathroom, and that's where she pees. She won't use the litter box.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, that's interesting. That is not the only pet I've ever heard of that actually goes into the bathroom, the human bathroom, to use the bathroom. A family dog that we had, whenever it would have a late night urge to go to the bathroom and no one would wake up to take it out, would actually go into the bathtub to do its business, which was actually pretty damn convenient when you really think about it.
It's pretty smart.
Yeah. I don't know how she picked up on that.
Yeah, the dog's like, I gotta go.
Smart.
I gotta go. No one's gonna get up to take me, and I don't want to get in trouble in the morning when they see my mess. So I'm going where, the least amount of damage can be done. Yeah, smart dog, super smart dog.
And the crazy thing is, she would do that. Yet, anytime you would even start the bath, and she knew that she was going to get a bath, she wouldn't go anywhere near the bathroom. So she was able to pick up on certain things. It's crazy what dogs can pick up on.
Yeah, they're incredibly smart little animals. I mean, some of them are kind of dumb, but the dumb ones are just as fun.
Yeah, it was the same dog, and this had to be one of the smartest dogs like I've ever been around for just picking up on things. She was able to tell time, and don't ask me how she did it, because I was always trying to figure it out. But she would be laying down asleep, and all of a sudden noon would hit, and she'd be up because that was her treat time, and she'd be begging for the treat. Like, she was reminding you what time it was. Same thing would happen at 5 and 6, and it didn't matter where she was at. So like, there was no like clue, like, I don't know, a TV show coming on or something like that, clock ringing. Like, she knew when it was noon, 5 and 6, because that was her treat time. And I have no idea how she would be able to pick up on that, other than some internal instinct, some internal clock that just totally picked up on it. Yeah.
My little dog, no matter where she is, no matter what she's doing, at 8 p.m. every night, she gets really crabby and starts growling at us.
She wants to go to bed.
She wants her treat, and she wants to go lay in bed. Then she's too small. She can't get up in the bed by herself. So whether or not we're ready to go to bed at 8 p.m., we just put her up in the couch, and or on the bed, and she just lays down. Well, normally she will stand up at the end of the bed and say like, no, it's time to come to bed. But if we don't come right away, she settles down and goes to sleep. But it's crazy. Every night, 8 o'clock on the button.
Yeah. We had a dog that some potatoes got left on a bag of potatoes, got left on the floor, and she went and grabbed them one at a time and ran them back to an empty bedroom, and hid them, and would like come back and give weird looks at people like, are you seeing what I'm doing? Nah, I don't think so. Everything's normal. Go grab. And she did it with 7 of them, 7 potatoes, one at a time, back and forth, until someone realized this dog is carrying a potato in its mouth all the way back. So she was like building up a cache, kind of like a squirrel does or whatever, of potatoes. So yeah, they're smart. They can figure things out.
Just hiding them and saving them for a rainy day, like, in a couple of days when I get really hungry in between meals. I know where I can go find a potato and chow down, man. Chow down, baby.
Or even worse, the dog completely forgets that they hit him there, and then you find them like in 3 weeks, and it's all whatever, disgusting. But
it's got little sprouts coming out of it and fun things like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I found I don't even remember what website it was, just something from the Google machine in the United States, the list of the most common pets in the number of households across the U.S. And of course, number 1 is dogs. And that was number 1 by a long shot. Number 2 is, what do you think number 2 is?
Cats, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. How about number 3?
I'm going to go with hamster.
You're not terribly far. Number 3 is fish.
Yeah. Fish. That have been up there too. Yeah.
Number 4, I was really surprised by that it was this high on the list, but it's reptiles. So there are thousands and thousands of households across the United States that have like snakes, and that just, that
no
gives
way.
me creeps. I was never bothered by, they never bugged me as a kid. My sister was terrified of them, But now as an adult, I am super scared of snakes. Like if I even see a picture of one on the
I
internet,
get creeps.
my brain starts to go fuzzy. Like it's a very uncomfortable feeling. I'm terrified of snakes now for some reason. It's
They
really
they
strange.
creep me out. No legs, can move in like weird serpentine motion. No way.
Yep. Okay, number 5 is what you said. It's other mammals, so I'm just assuming it's like hamsters and gerbils and things like that.
Dolphins.
Dolphins, yeah, sure. Yeah, dolphins.
Yeah, dolphins.
Monkeys. Number 6
True.
is little bunny rabbits just eating their little carrots, going and hop, 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 hop. Have you
Yeah.
ever had a pet rabbit before?
I had a mating pair of rabbits in my yard, so I had like 12 of them at one time. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I still have some because I can see the paw prints and the poop all over the place. So they're still around.
Lovely. My wife had a couple pet rabbits when she was a kid, and their names were Lucky Charm and
Mhm.
Stew Meat.
Ew. Yeah, I have a
Yeah,
bad feeling
gross,
about
huh?
stew meat. Yeah, I have a bad feeling about that one.
Number 7 on the list was pet poultry, which I'm assuming is like chickens and ducks as pets. Like maybe,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I don't
suppose
know.
ducks could be in there. Yeah,
Oh, I guess that would that mean also like parrots and parakeets and things like that are they're not considered poultry, are they?
I don't think they're poultry.
They're just
I don't think
birds.
so. Yeah, they're birds. You'd
Okay.
assume.
Number 8 was pet livestock. So do they mean like those like tiny little pigs that people in cities get and then they destroy their backyards and their homes and things like that?
I suppose it could be. Yeah, that's a possibility. Or it could be like, I know 4-H, like they have all kinds of different like livestock that are like pets. I mean,
Okay.
that could be it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, sure. Like
horses, like would horses be that?
horses.
I think. Yeah.
A llama or a
Oh,
donkey.
yeah. Yep. What's another name for a donkey?
A burro.
What's another name for a donkey and a burro?
Can't say that. Donkey.
Great. So we got, let's see here, 4. Okay, what's 9 then?
9 is ferrets.
Oh yeah.
I had a friend who had a ferret one time, and they had a
Mhm.
really large house, and they rarely let it out of its cage because that thing would get lost in the house.
Yeah.
And that sucker was so fast. They let it out and you just go flying, and it would get
Mhm.
underneath stuff, and it would take them hours to get it out and get it back to its cage. And yeah, and they're super stinky, I guess.
Can believe that. Yeah.
And number 10 was just labeled as other. So I don't know what that
Oh.
means. I was just going to say maybe it's like pet rocks,
Could be. Could be.
maybe a chia pet.
Yeah, that definitely could be. Reptiles covers a lot. That could include frogs, turtles, lizards, snakes. So, yeah, there's not probably a lot left for the other category. So
Yeah.
that probably includes a lot of like really weird off the wall type of things, like
Yeah,
monkeys.
oh yeah.
Well, it might
monkeys.
fall into other mammals though too.
I always thought it could be fun to have a pet monkey, but only for a couple days because I think I'd get too stressed out because I think they're pretty high maintenance and
Yep.
just occupy your attention all the time.
I heard that too about we'll call them tropical birds, like parrots and whatever all those
Uh-huh.
other types of birds are, because they talk and he can't shut them up. And the worst part is I think they live to be like 50, 60, 70 years old.
Oh yeah.
Because I've heard of people who pass away that have those type of birds, and they end up having to like foster them out because like if you don't want to keep it, it's really tough because those will outlive you in some cases.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty wild. Yeah. And don't they get super attached to their owners too? And so when they
Mhm.
make it to new homes, they're like very, very unhappy and unruly.
yeah,
birds
and sometimes they
things like
won't eat. Yeah, they do stuff like that.
that.
I don't think I'm gonna get one of those. I'm not gonna get the Fruit Loop, whatever creature that is. I don't think it's a parrot. It's a name for that, whatever that bird is. You know what I'm talking about with the Fruit Loops? It's got the weird bill on it.
A toucan.
Toucan. Yep.
Like
Yep. Because his
Toucan
name
Sam.
Toucan Sam. Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go. Yep. Nope. Not getting one of those. Might outlive me.
Oh, I could totally see you just walking down the street on the sidewalk with a big old bird on your shoulder, and everyone looks at you, does the double take, like, hey, does that guy have a bird on his shoulder? And you'd be like, yep, this is old Petey.
and I got a Pirates hat on. Yeah, that's exactly how it would be. What was your favorite pet growing up? Did you have pets growing up?
I did. Yeah. My favorite was when I was young. We had to put him down when I was still fairly young, like somewhere 8, 9, or 10. We had this little mutt dog. His name was Duncan. He was kind of a mid-sized dog, and he was so fast and so smart. I loved that little dog. But yeah, then he got sick and started pooping on the walls. So we had to, wiping his butt on the walls. Yuck. So,
that's one bad thing about pets.
Yeah.
What was it a mix of?
I have no idea. I'd have to ask my parents. I think it was like a Cocker Spaniel and something else. He didn't look at all like a Cocker Spaniel, but yeah, he was a good little boy.
Yeah, we had a mutt named Herman. That was the first dog like I ever remember, and it was a mix of poodle and terrier, and so it had really curly hair, and it was tiny like a terrier, and it had little mustache stuff on it too, like they have. And we thought there might be a little like greyhound in there or something because of the way it's built and how fast it was. If you opened the door and you weren't blocking her from getting out, like she was gone.
Yeah.
And she was all over town. She evaded the authorities many times. And we got a lot of calls from people. Hey, we think your dog just ran by. Yep. That's Herman. Yep. She's all over the place.
Old Herm dog.
Yeah. She didn't know any tricks at all. She just knew how. When you said, come here, Herm, she would come every time.
Right on. So when you're out and about on the street, do you have any particular breeds of dogs that make you the happiest when you see them?
Not necessarily make me the happiest, because any dog's a good dog. But the ones that I liked the most, I think they're a match for my personality, are probably the Spaniels. So whether it's the Cocker Spaniels, which is the smallest, or Springers, which are a little bit bigger, they got the floppy ears. They like a good, scratch behind the ears. You get to be buddies with them.
Yeah.
All dogs are good dogs, in my opinion. I don't have a lot of experience with cats, so I just gotta be honest. I don't know if all cats are good cats, because I just don't know. But
yeah, I have a weird relationship with cats because they typically don't like me, or they're like kind of standoffish. But my little cat Taco worships the ground that I walk on, so I have an excellent relationship with that little cat. But our other cat Panda's just like, hey Dad, what's up? I'm gonna go over here. Okay, cool.
I do have to say there's two cats that I really have a good relationship with, and I loved them as kids. Number one, Garfield, the cat from the cartoon. I found on one of those channels that shows like all the old stuff, they did have Garfield and Friends. It's still funny to this day and entertaining. The other one is Heathcliff. Do you remember Heathcliff, the cartoon? That cat that ran around? Yeah. Loved both of those shows. Those always good ones.
Nice. Well, I have my list of my top 5 favorite breed dogs because I have to power rank everything. So my number 1 is, because I have one, a Shih Tzu, which for those of you who don't know what a Shih Tzu looks like, they're really small. They got a flat face with really super cute eyes. And if you're a Star Wars fan, if you remember from episode 6, The Return of the Jedi, those little creatures called Ewoks, well, George Lucas, who created Star Wars, he modeled Ewoks off of Shih Tzu dogs. So a lot of times, like it happens at least 3 to 5 times a year when I'm out walking Gert, a stranger will say, "Oh, you have a lovely Ewok."
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. My number 2 is Golden Retrievers. Although they shed a lot of hair, they are
big time.
They are such a wonderful, just happy, calm dog. My sister had a Golden Retriever that I absolutely loved. He's no longer with us, unfortunately, but he wasn't so much as a retriever. Like when we played ball with him, we called him more of a golden locator because he'd go find the ball, but he wouldn't really bring it back. So that's kind of fun. My number 3 is it's called the Bernese Mountain Dog. They're big, gorgeous, black and brown colored. The problem with them is that I don't think they live very long because they get a lot of diseases and things like that. So that would be a hard breed of dog for me to have.
Yep.
Number 4 is the French Bulldog, because with those giant Batman ears, it'd be hard for me to not, if I got one, to not name it like Bruce Wayne or something like that.
Yep.
My number 5 is literally any dog that I see walking out on the street. I just want to be its best friend, and I hope it wants to be my best friend as well.
Yeah. Dogs are the best. You can tell they're happy if that tail's just a wagging.
Yep.
I just ran into someone I was doing some business with for work. I went to their office and this bulldog comes out, and I mean, it is huge.
Yeah.
And it's like got the cool markings on it and stuff. And I start talking to the guy. I go, like, what kind of bulldog is this or whatever? And he's like, oh, it's an English bulldog. And I'm like, okay, all right. And he started explaining it. And it's like 3 or 4 different breeds of bulldog combined. And it was like the most awesome looking dog, but it had to be like 90 pounds. That thing was
huge. And they're super loud because their noses are so like smashed into their face that their nasal passages are, and then they drool everywhere. They're adorable.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think of the dog that my grandparents had that had the face was like literally looked like it was ran into a wall. It was smashed. I think I can't remember the name of the dog, but I believe it's from Asia somewhere is where they kind of came from.
A pug?
A pug. There you go. Yep. And that thing, when it went to sleep, it was snoring and you could hear it from miles away.
Yeah.
And the cool part was, I can't remember when the tail was curled. I think that meant that they thought that they were safe. They felt good or whatever. But when it was uncurled, so when it was straight, that meant there was problems or whatever. And it literally curled like a corkscrew. Yeah. Huh. So that was kind of cool. And they're really smart dogs, but they also shed a lot. And they had a lot of snot.
I bet. Oh yeah, I bet. I've met a lot of pugs in my day named either Puggy or Pugsley. That seems to be a very common name. Oh, and 2 others, like I haven't researched this at all, but I feel like the most common names I hear for dogs, number 1 and number 2, are Gizmo and Snickers. Okay. I feel like I hear people calling after their dogs that are named either Gizmo or Snickers all the time, just constantly. So if I ever get another dog after little Gertrude, I will most certainly not be naming it Gizmo or Snickers.
I have a coworker that said their dog, which is, I think it's called Bashan. It's a French breed. Sure. And they're like white cotton balls, they look like. And he let his daughter name it. And she named it Skittles.
Skittles. That's great.
Which is pretty good. I'm like, actually, that's a pretty good name. Like,
yeah, that's solid.
That dog, Skittles, is pretty good. I think the poor dog hopefully doesn't like have like any emotional image issues or anything like that from being called Skittles. But that's still a pretty good name.
That's solid. Yeah. When we got Gert, the final 2 names it was either Gertrude or Neptune, and Gertrude won out. I can't imagine her being called Neptune all these years later. But yeah, naming dogs is fun. Like, and we're the type of people that give our dogs middle names. Like some people, some families do that, some don't. So my dog's official name is Gertrude Orange Chicken Monster Beers.
Yeah. Orange chicken's good. Monster, the energy drink, I'm assuming. It's good. Could be Monster as in a Monster Menace.
Yeah. Not so much the energy drink, but just like she's a little monster, 8-pound terror. She's really not a terror, but we just call her a little monster puppy.
Yeah. Did you have fish growing up?
Yeah, here and there. They never stayed alive very long. I once had a pet newt, those tiny little, is it an amphibian or is it a reptile? I don't know. I'm not really sure.
That one I couldn't tell you.
But I was so excited, and that little thing swam around. I don't even remember what we named it. It only lasted like 3 days because he like crawled up into the aquarium part where the heating lamp was and got stuck up there and literally melted on the heating light bulb. I was like, where's our little newt guy? And my mom or dad like pulled it up, and there was a melted newt. Yeah. Didn't last long.
We experimented quite a bit with fish, trying to you go to the pet store or you go to Walmart. It seemed to be a common place to buy pet supplies and stuff like that. Don't know if it is anymore. And they always lasted like 3 months, 4 months, that type of thing. But oddly enough, one summer in college, I thought it'd be fun to just have like a fish tank or whatever.
Sure.
And so I set it up. I figured they'd die real quick. They lived for like 3.5 years.
Holy
it was
cow.
like the biggest pain in my parents' butt because I left it at their house. And so, yeah, I had fish in my room for like 3.5 years and they would not die. And I think I had to kind of murder them because
Jeez.
I had to flush them down the toilet. It was, yeah, but kudos to them. Lived a long time. So
Yeah.
they lived a
Those
good life.
long, fishy lives.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, I don't
Yeah.
have anything more on pets. Do you?
Only thing is a public service announcement to anyone that thinks they want to buy their kid a hamster based on what happened to a friend of mine when he was a kid. Do not buy one because they put all the hamsters like into one container, and they're all kind of running around and you think, oh, they're all little baby hamsters or young or whatever. Well, evidently they get to reproduction age pretty quick and you can't necessarily tell the difference between a male and a female, or if you can, you can't tell if one's pregnant or not.
Oh,
And so anyways, we were hanging out one day. This is like when we were 10, 11 years old. And I all of a sudden looked over and like, hey, I think your hamster's having babies. And it was, and they had just got it. And yeah, if you didn't know, hamsters, in order to protect their young, for some reason, I think if they get scared, they start eating them.
Oh.
And we had to witness that. It took down about 2 of them. Luckily, this guy's dad was a wildlife biologist, so he knew what to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a little public service announcement. You think you're going to buy your kid a hamster, and then all of a sudden it could be pregnant, and you could have a lot of other hamsters you're dealing with. So
Yeah. And some potential trauma to deal with too. Yeah.
yeah, maybe go with the pet rock.
Yeah. Get a rock and a Sharpie and draw a smiley face on it. There you go.
Yeah, yeah,
Here's your pet.
yep. Just letting people know. So
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we got today. So we're going to get out of here. Have a safe, happy week, and we will check you all next time. All right. Later. Bye.
Yeah. Give a dog a treat. Bye.